Hello guys, welcome to Nita Crochet. The hook is my magic wand. Subscribe to my channel for gorgeous content. Today I'm going to be working this bikini bottom. I already worked the top and its tutorial is already on my channel. Okay, so to start with, I worked with lightweight yarn. I doubled my strands and I worked with a 3.5mm hook, and lastly scissors and a darning needle. Let's get started. I'm going to make a magic circle just like that. To make everything simple for me, that's how I make mine. So I'm going to get my hook and yarn over, insert my hook into the circle and work a single crochet. This is not going to act as a stitch, but then I'm going to work I'm going to work 9 single crochets into the circle. So basically the first one is not going to be counted. So we are going to work 9 single crochets without the first one being included. So as you can see, so far I have, is it 7? And then 8, and lastly this is the 9th. So I'll pull my end just so that it can like get together and close up, and then I'm going to work a slip stitch into the very first single crochet that we worked. So right there I'm going to chain 2, and into that very first stitch I will work a double crochet, and then I will work another double crochet in the very same stitch. All right, please be very attentive here, because if you don't work these first stitches right, you're going to get lost on the whole pattern. So into the next stitch I am working 2 double crochets as well. All right, and now in the next stitch, which is the 3rd stitch, I'm going to work 1 double crochet. And yeah, once I have that, I'm going to work 2 double crochets into the 4th stitch, just like that, and then into the 5th I will work 2 double crochets into the very same stitch. Okay, and now into the 6th stitch I am going to work right there. Just find your way in there and then work 1 double crochet. Now we move on to the 7th. We work 2 double crochets in there in that very same stitch. All right, and now into the 8th right there we do the very same thing, work 2 double crochets into the very same stitch, and then into the 9th stitch I am going to work 1 double crochet. All right, and then I'll work a slip stitch into the chain 2 that started the row. Just like that. So you'll just try to pull your work flat, all right, so that it doesn't like coil up. And now I'm going to chain 2, and into this very first stitch right there I am going to work 1 double crochet, just like that. And now into the V, I will call that a V because I have 2 stitches in there, so I'm going to work 4 double crochets into that very same stitch. Okay, this is more like to have me create a corner, just like that. And now I'll work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and I will work 4 double crochets into the next stitch. All 4 double crochets are in this very same stitch. All right, And now into the next stitch I will work 1 double crochet. All right, also 1 double crochet in the next, just like that. And now into the next, because it's a V, I will work 4 double crochets into that very same stitch. Okay, 4 double crochets into that very same stitch. And now the next needs 1 double crochet. The next is a V, so I'm going to work 4 double crochets in there, in the very same stitch. And I will work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Once again, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And now into the V right there, I work 4 double crochets in the very same stitch. All right, so I will work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now here, as you can see, it's a V, so I will work 4 double crochets into the very same stitch. All right, then 1 double crochet into this very last stitch, and there I will work a slip stitch into the chain 2 that started the row to end my row. So this is what I have, and this is how my work looks like. So far it hasn't taken shape, but it will. All right, now I'm going to start my next row, which is going to be the 4th row. But you can see that the corners are trying to form and give it that shape that I'm looking for. I don't know, I'm going to look up the shape. I think it has to have like 6 corners. So we are going to chain 2 and into this very first stitch right there. It's not a V, so I'm going to work 1 double crochet. All right, and I'll work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Now these were 4 stitches, so I'm going to work 1 double crochet in this, and then now this is what I will call the middle or the center of the 4 stitches that we have been working for our corners. So in there I'm going to work 2 double crochets into the very same stitch. That's for my corner, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the center of the 4 double crochets we worked for the next corner. So you can see those are 2 double crochets, and then also here I work 1 double crochet, and once again 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So yes, and now this is the center of the 4 double crochets, so I'm going to work 2 double crochets into that very same stitch. So basically the previous row we worked 4 double crochets for each corner, but now on this row we are working 2 double crochets into each corner. Now once again I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the center of the 4 double crochets of the next corner. So right there, 1 double crochet, again 1 double crochet, and now the next stitch is the corner, like the center for that corner. Let me just call it the corner. Yeah, so that's the corner right there, and I'm going to work 2 double crochets into that very same stitch. That's 1, and I'm going to work my second double crochet. So I'm going to repeat this very same thing, working 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the corner, and then work 2 double crochets into the corner. All right, you can see that now I'm getting to have those corners visible, and that's what we are looking for. Okay, so right there, in there I'm going to work 2 double crochets in the very same stitch. And now once again I'm going to continue with 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the corner, and I have 2 stitches left to get there. So right there I'm going to work 2 double crochets into that corner, and I will continue with 1 double crochet into every stitch until the next corner. As you can see now, this corner is like close to each other, and this is our bottom, so you should mark that. Okay, the corners which are very close to each other, if you remember, actually I worked 2 double crochets into the first stitch and the next stitch, so that is going to be like the bottom of our bikini, or more like where we are going to start to work our crotch. So continue doing the very same thing like I have been doing until the last stitch. So in there you work your double crochet and then work a slip stitch to close up or end your row. So just try to lay your work flat so it doesn't like coil up or turn up. So now for the next row, which is my last row to work with you guys, you're going to chain 2 and work 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the corner. Now the corner is the stitch in between the 2 double crochets we have been working previously. In the corners we worked. So yes, right there we work 4 double crochets into the very same stitch. Now I'm going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to continue doing this until I get to the corner. The corner is the center of the 2 double crochets or 4 double crochets we worked in 1 stitch. Okay, so right there I have the next stitch is the center, so I'm going to work 4 double crochets into that stitch. Okay, just like that. Those are 2, and now 3, and 4. Okay, so I'm going to continue working 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the corner. So basically, just to take you through what we are going to be doing for the next rows is, if we work 4 double crochets into every corner on this row, we are going to be working 2 double crochets into every corner on the next row. Okay, so just keep that in mind, because that is how I've been working all these rows. Work 4 double crochets into every corner on this row, and then 2 double crochets into every corner on the next row. So do that for a couple of rows, that you get to see that I have formed something that is wide enough to like cover up the front of my, yes, whatever, the front of it, and you feel confident that it can cover up very, very well. Then you can stop working. Okay, because I'm just working for one size, which is a size small, but also it can fit a size medium. Okay, so I'm just working for those 2 sizes. But then if you're working for sizes large, you can just add a few more rows onto this piece that we are working before now we start working the crotch and everything. Okay, so yes, continue with 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the corners and work that. So let me get back once the row has ended, and then I can tell you what next we are going to do. So basically this is how my work turned out, and just lay your piece flat so it can, like, keep flat and not like roll up or coil up. So this is what I have, and these are the number of rows I have worked so far. Those are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for the size I'm working for, I am just going to work 2 more rows. I am confident those will be able to fit a size medium, to stretch out for a size medium, but also I believe it can fit a size small. But just to be sure, for a size small, you can just add 1 more row. But for my size, I am going to add 2 rows. So in total, I'm going to have 7 rows. Here we are. I have my 7 rows complete from the center, and you can see how my piece has managed to like turn out with all the sides or corners that I needed for it. So we are going to check the second row and look out for where we had two double crochets into the first stitch and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. That's exactly where I said it's going to be the bottom face, okay? Because if you see the other sides or corners are a little wider, and that is more like the narrower part, okay? And I want the narrower part, or to just make your work easy, you can just count the stitches. The corners that have the less stitches is going to be our like bottom, from where I'm going to start working my crotch. So let's get started. Right there is going to be my crotch, okay? Because for me it's the narrower end. So I'm going to face it to the bottom and get my yarn, insert my yarn into the corner, which is the like center of the 4 double crochets or 2 double crochets we worked in 1 stitch. And right there, I am going to pull through my yarn and chain 2. So because I want a decrease for my crotch to like get the width that is just enough not to make my piece look super big around the crotch, I am going to work 2 half double crochets together into the first and second stitch. All right, and now we are going to make sure that our end is worked underneath, and we shall work 1 half double crochet into every stitch until we have 2 stitches left to end the row. And into those 2 stitches we are also going to work 2 half double crochets. So let me meet you guys there and show you what to do. So now right here I am working into the second last, and now as you can see I have 2 stitches left, one next to the corner and the other into the corner. So I work 2 half double crochets together to end my row, and that's how my work looks like. So for my next row I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. Still I'm going to work 2 half double crochets together into the first and second stitch, and then I will work 1 half double crochet into every stitch until I have 2 stitches left to end the row. So right here I have 2 stitches left to end the row, as you can see. So I am going to work 2 half double crochets together into the last 2 stitches. That's one, and into the very last one I'll pull through my yarn and work 2 half double crochets together. So this is the very same thing I'm going to carry on for the next row. I just want a width that is small enough for my crotch area and not to have the crotch area look baggy. So I'll just do the very same thing for the next row, and I'm going to meet you after that. So I'm right here at the end of my row, and I'll work 2 half double crochets together into the last 2 stitches. And now, as you can see, I am confident that this is enough width for my crotch. The stitches I have left are just enough for my crotch, not too wide and not too narrow. So I'm going to chain to turn my work. I'm not going to decrease anymore, so I'll be working 1 half double crochet into every stitch all the way until the end of the row. And I'm going to do that repeatedly for a total of 8 rows. Okay, basically just count 8 rows from this very first one. So once you have 8 rows, that's long enough for my crotch. I'm going to get back and show you how to work the back piece of this bikini bottom. So I've come to the end of my second row. I'm just trying to show you how it looks like so far. So you see what we have, and this is where our more like flaps that tie to the sides are going to go. So let me let you guys work the other 6 rows on your own, and then I'm going to get back and show you how to work the back piece. So here we are, my crotch is complete, and I have attached my other color because I want my back piece to be of another color, but you can go on with the very same color. I have 8 rows for my crotch area, and that's long enough for me. If it isn't, you can add more rows if you want to. Now to start my back piece, I'm going to chain 2, and I'll turn my work, and into the very first stitch I'm going to work 2 double crochets all in this very same stitch. Okay, that's one, and I'm going to have the second one still in the very same stitch. Now after this, I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the very last stitch, and in there I'm going to work 2 double crochets all in the very same stitch. So let me meet you guys there. So I'm right here at the end of my row, and in the very last stitch I'm going to work my 2 double crochets all in this very same stitch, and then I will get to start working my second row for the back piece. All right, so chain to turn your work. Now this time I am going to work 3 double crochets into the very first stitch. So I will work my first double crochet, and there we go with the second one and the third one. Right there. So once I have all 3, I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the very last stitch, and there I will work 3 double crochets all in the very same stitch. So let me meet you guys there. And now into the very last stitch, I am going to work my 3 double crochets, just like I did when I was starting this row. All right, now see how it's starting to like become bigger and wider. That's what I'm looking for, because my back piece has to be much more wider than the front piece. All right, so here we are going to chain 2 and turn our work. Still, for the next row, I am going to work 3 double crochets into the very same stitch, which is the first stitch. Once I have all 3 double crochets, I am going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get to the very last stitch, and I'll work 3 double crochets in there. So let me meet you guys there. So I am at the end of my row, and this is my very last stitch, and I will work 3 double crochets all in this very same stitch, and that's how I end my third row. All right, so for the next row, I am going to now repeat what I did for the first row. So chain 2, turn your work 2 double crochets into the very first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the last stitch, and there you will work 2 double crochets. So let me meet you guys there. And here in the very last stitch, I'm going to work my 2 double crochets just like I did when I was starting the row. So basically how you start the row is exactly how you end it. I'm just working 2 more rows, then I'll let you guys work the rest of the project on your own. All right, so chain 2, turn your work. For the next row, I'm going to be working 3 double crochets into the very first stitch. And once I have my 3 double crochets, I am going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until the last stitch. So let me meet you guys there. And right here in the very last stitch, I work 3 double crochets. And this is the very same thing I'm going to do for the next row. So basically the back piece of this bikini bottom is a 3-step repeat. All right, we have 2 double crochets and then 3 double crochets. Also the third row, 3 double crochets. So basically we are repeating a series of 2 double crochets when starting and ending the row, then 3 double crochets when starting and ending the row, and again 3 double crochets when starting and ending the row. All right, so basically even for this row, you chain 2, turn your work 3 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet into every stitch until you get to the last stitch. And yes, in there you work 3 double crochets in the last stitch. So just do this repeatedly and repeatedly until you like have the width that you desire or the coverage that you want for your the back of your bikini bottom. And I'm just going to meet you guys there once I also have the rows that I want for the coverage I want for my bikini bottom. I will share the number of rows I have worked for my bikini bottom, and then later we proceed on working, finishing up with the front piece. So just work your way up. It should be wider, it should get wider and wider, okay? But also if you're working for a size large, you can just choose to be working 3 double crochets when starting and ending the row all throughout for every row for the back piece. All right, to give you more coverage, it will give you more width for your back piece if you just don't want cheeky bottoms. So this is my back piece complete, and I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. All right, so I have 12 rows. You can add a few more rows if you want to. So following my front piece, I am going to start converging. So I'm going to be working decreases just so that I get the very same design or sort of like concept that meets what my front piece looks like. Now I am going to chain 2 and I'm going to work a decrease. So I am going to work 2 double crochets together into the first and second stitch. All right, So I'll get in there like that, pull through 2 and then yarn over, insert my hook, pull through yarn, pull through 2 and then pull through all. And from here I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I have 2 stitches left to end the row. That's where I'm going to meet you guys and show you how to end your row. So right here, this is my very last, my 2 last stitches, and I'm going to work 2 double crochets together into the last 2 stitches, and that's how I end my row. And just like that, I pull through all. So this is how I've ended my row, and you can see that decrease is trying to form. So chain to turn your work. I'm doing the very same thing for this row as well. I'm going to be working 2 double crochets together into the first and second stitch. Just like that. And then I'm going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch until I have 2 stitches left to end my row, and that's why I'm going to meet you guys and then show you what to do. So right here, this is where I am, and I have 2 stitches left to end my row. So I'm going to work 2 double crochets together into the last 2 stitches. Just like that. So that's how you end your row. Okay, see how our work is looking like, and the decrease is actually forming exactly how we want it. Okay, so we are going to work more rows until we have a width just the same as that. Okay, so you will just work your rows and try to compare with the front piece until they are of the same length, then you have it right. So here I am, and I have met the width that I wanted, or the length I wanted for the decrease. So this is how my work looks like. I have 6 rows, and that's just enough. So for whichever that you have, just place it like this and make sure they have the same length. So we are going to be working a panel here and a panel there, then here and there, just so that we can have those strings that tie to the sides. So I'm going to get my yarn, and I will insert my yarn into my into the loop and chain 1. Now I'm going to be working along the edges of the rows for which I worked a decrease. Okay, so basically I'm going to be ending where I started the decrease. So I'll work a single crochet into the double crochet post. For every double crochet post, I'm going to be working 2 single crochets. All right, so just work 2 single crochets. I usually work 1 single crochet into the double crochet post and the other into the joint of the 2 double crochet posts. Okay, so work that until the end right there. So now we are going to chain 2 and then turn our work, and I'll be working 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get back all the way up where I started from. And this I am going to do for the next row as well, just working 1 double crochet into every stitch. So let me get back once you have this row complete. So yes, I am going to now work 1 more row, just like I have done this one, and I think that will be enough for me. You can work more if you want to. Now, as you can see, I have my second row complete, and I am confident this is enough for my side panel. If you want something longer, you can go ahead and add 1 or 2 rows, but it's not necessary. As for me, the width I have is enough. So I'll cut my yarn and weave in my ends. Now I am going to do the very same thing for the other side of the back piece. Yes, I'm going to do the very same thing there. So let me just show you what to do to the front. how to work the side panel for the front, and I'm going to work it along this edge. All right, so I'm going to get my yarn and insert my hook into the corner, like the center of the 4 double crochets we worked in the very same stitch. Then I'll chain 2 and work a double crochet into that stitch, and I'm going to be working 1 double crochet into every stitch until I get all the way up at the next corner, more like the next corner or the center of the 4 double crochets we worked for the next corner. So let me get you guys there and then show you what to do. So I am right here and I'm just so close to the center, which I call the corner, right there. So into that next stitch is exactly where I have to stop. So I'll work 1 double crochet in there. Okay, so there we have it. You see? Now I am going to chain 2 and turn my work, and still I am going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way until I get back all the way down. Okay, and I'm going to do this repeatedly for the next 2 rows so that I have a total of 4 rows for the front panels, because the front piece is actually smaller than the back piece. So yes, basically I am right here at the end of my second row. I just want to show you how it looks like, then I'll let you work the other 2 rows on your own. So this is what we have. So yes, I'm going to let you work the other 2 rows on your own from here. Just add 2 rows, and then now do the very same thing for that side. You work 4 rows. Now I'm going to get back and show you how to work the edges and the strings. Okay, so before I start on the edges, let me just show you how it looks like. This is how it looks like. My front panels have 4 rows and my back has 2 rows. I haven't worked the other side of the back, so yes, but this is how it looks like so far. Now I'm going to be working strings and then along the edges to the other side and work a string for every corner. All right, so let's get started. So first we work a slip knot. Okay, I usually just say make a knot, but I was corrected and I was told it has to be called a slip knot. I think I am right. Yes, so a slip knot, and we insert our hook into the loop and work several chains that are long enough for us, more like your string, that the string that is going to tie to the side. So I worked about 50 to 60 of them, and once you have that, you're going to get to the corner of the back piece and insert your hook into the very last stitch right there. Work a single crochet, and now make sure you're working towards the edges, okay, of the back piece, like the edge going down, not the edge of the side panel. So yes, we work 2 single crochets into every double crochet post, and we are going to do that all the way going down. So yes, like I always say, for me, I usually just work 1 single crochet into the double crochet post, like midway the double crochet post, and then the other at the bottom of the post, which is the joint of the previous row and the next row right there. So but if that gets confusing for you, you can just work 2 single crochets into every double crochet post. Okay, that will give you a clean edge, because those are the right number of stitches you must have for every double crochet post. So I'm going to let you guys work this all the way, going down all the way via the crotch and all the way up to the corner of the side panel of the front piece. Okay, so let me meet you guys there. And once you get to the corner, you're just going to do the very same thing. You are going to work chains, about 50 chains for your string. Okay, so as you can see, I have worked strings on this side. So now to work your string here, you'll do the very same thing. Work your chains, attach it to this point, and then work single crochets along this edge all the way there, and then work chains for your string. Do the very same thing on this side. So you must have a total of 4 strings, okay? Yeah, 4 strings on both sides. On the left, 4 strings, and then on the right, 4 strings. So this is how it looks like, and I am confident you guys now know what to do. So let me just show you the finished product. Yay, there we go. So I hope you have managed to work your strings perfectly like I have. I'm going to be in position to weave in my ends later, but this is how your bikini bottom should look like. Thank you so much for working. You can line your bikini bottom if you wish to. I don't usually do mine that way. So this is how it looks like on the dummy. It really looks flat and well knitted. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, ring the bell, and always follow my Instagram, because that's where I do first-hand information for tutorials and everything that I work on my YouTube. Thank you so much. Bye.